Let's see. What are we going to talk about today? Well, while we give Morgan a few minutes to join us, let's do some mental activation. You can look over your notes. Share if anything impresses you, anything jump out, anything new.
I just really like the last one we did yesterday, just before we left, where we hear the will, hear, know, speak, and see with the ego mind when you can just let things, if you can just let things go when it comes, the information comes in. I've kind of learned to do that, but every once in a while it just something bothers you, it just keeps with you. That's all. I
Yeah.
mean, I try to let it go, and then it takes a little while.
Yeah, it's called being human.
Yeah,
It's our human nature. We spend so many years in the outer circle. Okay, we spend so many years in the mind and the emotion, and
yeah,
the time between that space of two hearing and two seeing
yeah,
before the mind and emotion jumps in is so small.
yes.
Buddhists even has a word for it. It's called a setna, which just for convenience we can say the length of a nanosecond.
Mhm.
Very short amount of time.
Yeah.
Um, but it does come with a little bit of practice, and it we'll talk. I think we'll talk little bit about the kind of spiritual energy required to extend that state.
Good morning, Frank.
Good morning, Jiha. Okay.
Good Morgan. Yes.
Good morning.
Oh,
Good
okay.
morning.
We're here. So,
It just takes a fraction of a second too for that. As soon as you hear something, that message or whatever, it's already in your mind,
yeah, already label it as something,
already labeled. Yeah.
and then immediately we react to it with some emotion.
Mhm.
So, Morgan, as a tradition, we always begin with some mental activation. Look over your note or just review something and see if you can pick out something from what we shared yesterday that stand out for you. Anything that you find is new, any lesson that you find applicable or impressionable, and we talk about it.
Um, it's not new, but is new too, because every time when I listen to a lecture, I see the different way of my vision also, and I learn more. This time I'm focusing more about the realization
Okay, good.
yesterday.
Okay, good. Yeah. Okay. Um, let me see.
In my mind, I'm still processing
Okay.
because regarding of the question yesterday, I told you I'm focusing, to my relationship with my daughter, and then obviously I knew this one. You're right, but I didn't pay attention to focus and change, my mind and vision this way that you mentioned, to take a look at it positively. And then I'm waiting for you to follow up.
In order for us to switch what we see, what we hear, what we say, and what we know about other people from negative to positive, it is important that we go empty first, right? If we already have certain way of seeing another another person that is negative, it's going to be a lot harder to go positive. Just like if the cup is already got stuff in it and the stuff is dirty water, then you pour in clean water, it's still going to be dirty. It's take a longer time to get the cup clean. But first you empty the cup, get rid of all the negativity, get rid of all the old stuff, then it is a lot more simple to add new things to it. And that's why we had an intro yesterday. Our interaction was all about a state of emptiness of being. Okay, let me just find my notes. We took a lot of notes yesterday. Important one I should have kept, but where did it go? Okay, so we're gonna keep these around. Okay, so these are human nature. Human nature fluctuate between positive and negative. This is a human construct, also known as a energy structure. We'll go deeper into energy, and this is also a map of the human nature, okay, pointing us to the true nature, pointing us to our true selves. And our true self, once we discover it, once we can connect with that emptiness, we will be free from suffering. Okay, so let me call your attention to an idea with that emptiness. It is called do I have that other diagram? Let's do this diagram. Okay. Let's use this diagram. And we went through this last week when we did an interaction on wisdom. But I think it's appropriate just to kind of share it in that way as well. So imagine that we have a river, and on the other shore is the shore shore of serenity. Okay, the shore of serenity, shore of inner peace. And we are over here on this part of the shore, this other shore. And in order to get to the other side, we borrow a raft. Okay, the goal is to get to the other side. And when a message comes in, instead of so quickly allowing the mind and the emotion to jump in and judge it or feel it, what we do is we borrow the hearing and the seeing. Just notice, in fact, for this interaction, I'm gonna add the word already, always, hearing, and already, always seeing. We just kind of notice it. I'm speaking to you now. Just notice that not only you can hear the word, you can see my face, but you can notice that you are already hearing, you're already always seeing. That is something that never change. What I say change, what the color of my clothes change, things are moving around, all of those things will change. What we see, what we hear will change, but the already always hearing, the already always seeing, it is part of our true nature, and that never change. And instead of focusing on what is being said, we simply focus on the fact that we are hearing, that we're already always hearing. And when we do that, what we will experience is a space called emptiness of inner being. Emptiness of inner being, or simply emptiness of being. Because if your inner being is empty, then everything else is also empty. And the longer we can hold this space of emptiness, the closer we are going to get to serenity. Right? Previously, we are so used to allowing the mind and the emotion to jump in. The mind and emotion, that oscillation between positive and negative, it's like the wave in an ocean. It can be very stormy. Okay, we can get 100-foot wave. We can have 100-meter wave. It's like a hurricane. But we borrow the already always hearing and the already always seeing raft. We just hop onto that raft and just let the raft float. And the longer we can stretch the time between the true hearing, true seeing, before the mind and the emotion jumped in, then that space of emptiness is called emptiness of inner being, or emptiness of being. And the longer that lasts, the closer we will get to serenity. And that is what a treasure is. This is a map that points to that treasure. And if you recognize that truth, simple truth, that we are already always seeing, already always hearing, we're already always speaking and knowing, then we feel freedom from suffering. It's that simple. The more you think about it, the more it'll go away because you use your mind to think, right? Yeah. The more we think about it, the more it'll go away. So right now we're going to talk about how we're talking about how some people will experience that state of emptiness without trying or effort. Okay? It is because, where's that human construct again? Okay, so because in the human construct, the way we are constructed, the way we have been put together by God or by evolution, beside from the emotion, beside from the mind, the human nature that fluctuate, okay, positive and negative electromagnetic waves and energy. We say that the inner being is wrapped up in a high energy, highly balanced energy frequency, okay, light, very bright. But within our human construct, there is another type of spiritual energy. We have three spiritual energy. Okay. One of the energy is positive. It corresponds to the positive, not the positive state of our being, but it has to do with our ethic. When it comes to ethic, human beings we have good and evil. We have benevolence and cruelty. Borrowing from the Christian image of the Garden of Eden. Long time ago, when God created human being, God gives human being a place to live. We call it Eden. Okay, it is a perfect paradise. We got all the plants and animal. We had everything. Human beings were created in the image of God, whole, perfect, and complete. We were happy. God said you can do everything. You can have everything that you want. The only thing that you cannot do is to eat from the forbidden tree of knowledge of good and evil. Okay, that is the forbidden fruit, the knowledge of good and evil. Instead of obeying God, human beings decided to eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And therefore, from that moment, we knew good and evil. We were no longer innocent. Once we know good and evil, we think good and evil, we do good and evil. And from then on, the allegory say that human being will kick out of paradise, kick out of Eden, and we begin to suffer. Before then, we did not suffer. Okay, life was perfect. The Bible even says Adam and Eve lived to be 900 years old. Long life. But when we started knowing good and evil, okay, it is our will to know. Okay, we know. It is our will to know, but we chose to know good and evil, and therefore we begin to think and act benevolently or cruelly, and that separation between, away from our true self. Okay, we move far. Imagine the true self is like paradise. We're living in a state of wholeness and completeness and perfect and serenity in this, this paradise in the middle. But instead, we choose to move away because we knew good and evil. And as we know good and evil, we begin to suffer mentally, spiritually, and so does our body physically. Our lifespan short. So there is an association between the positivity and negativity with the physical ailment of the body. Okay. The spiritual energy, if we can maintain a state of pure emptiness, a true emptiness, then we stay within the true self. No fluctuation between positive and negative. We don't judge people. We don't hate people. We don't, don't do anything. And so the energy is very high and balanced. But as we move away from the center, we get to choose to go positive or negative. If we choose to go positive, if we choose to think and behave benevolently, meaning if we can help other people feel good, okay? Human beings have the basic needs of resources, appearance, identity, consumption, and rest. Our focus is desire and imagination about those things. And the degree and polarity of our desire about those things will determine every other personality and human nature. So if we were benevolent and we choose to desire altruistically, meaning we can help other people go positive, help other people be happy, bring joy to them, bring them more peace, bring them trust instead of doubt. If we help other people get clear, in general, if we satisfy other people's need for the basic resources and help their inner state go positive, we earn a positive credit or positive energy in our spiritual account. Think of this as a bank account. Every time we help another person feel good, be good, we earn a spiritual credit. And that spiritual credit, when that bank account of positivity start to fill up, well, guess what? We start to attract positivity into our life. Spiritual energy, right? Positive energy associate with good deeds, the good thing that we do to other people, the benevolent thing. Okay. On the other hand, if we cause other people to go negative, we make them feel bad, we give them pain, we give them suffering. Or if we desire selfishly, or we cause other people to be selfish, cause them to go angry, okay, cause people to doubt, we do evil things to people. If we do evil things, then we accumulate negative energy. And if we accumulate enough negative energy within our human construct, remember the formula of cause and effect. If the inner seed is negative, it's going to bear the outer fruit of negativity. We're going to attract negative circumstances in life. Drawing it from the Christian teaching, there is a golden rule, right? This is a golden rule. Westerners are familiar with the golden rule. It says that which you do to that which you do to others. What is the golden rule? Do to others what you would have them do to yourself. Do to others what would you have them do to you. Bible also say, that which you sow, so shall you reap. Okay, the law of causality governs our universe, irregardless of what religion we have. You can be a Buddhist, or you can be a Christian, or you can be a Muslim, but we cannot escape God's law. And if God's law are the universal principles and natural law that operate our world, then our submission to that law means that we align ourselves with those principles and we float along the river. We get from point A to point B along the flow of the current, along God's law, then we will get what we want in a very quick and simple way. But if we choose to go against the river and we have to expend effort, then we may get what we want, but we do have to pay the price of pain and suffering. The Bible also says, on Judgment Day, every hair in your head will be counted. Okay? We cannot escape causality. Nothing will be missed. Every hair in our head will be counted. Every word, every action, every failure to speak, every failure to act is going to be counted. And if everything that we do and say, or fail to do and say, falls along the line of positivity to other people, we perform good deed in mind and in body, then we're going to earn positivity in our human construct. On the other hand, if we cause other people to go negative, make them feel bad, we insult them, we do things that cause them suffering, then we will also accumulate negativity. Causality is like a pond, upon a lake. Upon a lake. If we are in the space of true emptiness, then nothing happens. The lake is very still. We experience inner peace. Even if a leaf were to fall on a still lake, you can sense, you can sense what's going on, the tiny little ripple, and you can understand yourself better. We can understand the inner working of our own mind and emotion. We can also sense other people. The causality when it comes to the spiritual energy can also be used. We can also use the analogy of the lake. We're in a lake, but every time we perform an act that is positive, it's like throwing a pebble into the lake. If that pebble is a type that is positive, it's going to spread out. It's going to bounce against another person, and then it'll bounce back. It's a wave, energy. Energy wave travels out, it bounces against a boulder, a rock, and then it bounce back. If it is a type of energy that is positive, it's going to bounce back positively. Some of those waves will travel out and it goes very, very far. It doesn't bounce anything, but it all until it will hit somebody else much, much further down the line. And then it takes a long time to come back to us. But it is of the same polarity. If we do something that is negative or evil in nature, it may not bounce back right away, but it'll travel out, and it may hit somebody from far away, and then it'll take a long time to travel back to us, and then we will experience that negativity in the form of undesirable circumstances. But not immediately. It's you're walking down the street and then you get hit by a car. I didn't do anything. Well, maybe you did long time ago because of causality. Some people are born into this world. Let me write the word. Let me write this word right here. Some people are born in this world having good fortune. We call them fortunate, lucky, right? Blessed. Some people are born into this world having good fortune, great health, wonderful, loving family, financial abundance. Some people are born into bad fortune. Okay? Some people are born into bad fortune. Ill health. Some people are born without complete body parts. Congenital diseases. Bad genetics. Right? Nowadays, we're born into bad genetic. Science will look to your genetic, your DNA, and they say it's thanks to your parent. Okay, we can blame our parent. But root cause of life formula for the root cause of life say we don't blame anybody. Okay, the root cause of life begins with us. That is a statement on causality. It is a statement on that which will sow, so shall you reap. And we'll explain a little bit about that. Why is that, right? Why is it that some people are born to good fortune and some people are born to bad fortune? We haven't done anything yet. We're just baby. We just haven't done anything yet. If we're adult, then we commit a crime, then we get arrested for a crime. That's causality. That's understandable in the society nowadays. If we help somebody, they feel very good, then they'll do us a favor later. That's very simple to understand when it comes to adult. But how do you explain why some people are born to good fortune and some people are born to bad fortune? Those who are born to good fortune can thank God. But if you're born to bad fortune, do you blame God? Is God unfair? Do God love some children more than others? No. God loves everybody equally. God grant his grace, right? Grace is a blessing of God. Infinite grace to everybody equally. Okay, consider that. God's grace is granted to everybody infinitely and equally. Yet why does some people have better fortune than others? The only way to explain that, what they're saying, oh, God is unfair, is that God is fair, but human being were not. Our ability to receive is unequal. So, okay. Those who receive more grace from God, or those who reap a better fortune, does so because they have performed more positivity for other people. Those who reap the negative outcomes in life, God's grace is still infinite, but those who reap the negative outcome in life is because instead of performing good deeds, they have performed more evil deeds. They have caused other people to suffer more than feel happy. Okay, so how does that explain why we are born? We haven't done anything yet. The only way to allow for why we are born, fortunate or unfortunate, is to allow for the explanation that this true self extend beyond this lifetime. That's the only explanation that we have, and we're gonna go with that. Okay, you don't have to believe it. You don't have to believe it. Different religion, if you don't believe in the soul extending beyond this single lifetime, that's fine. But there is no other good explanation on why some people are born with good fortune and other people are born with bad fortune. It is the part of us that survive beyond the physical body, because when we die, the physical body breaks apart. It is no longer there, but something else that does not change remains. And traditionally, we think only forward. We think in terms of time, our soul will continue after this lifetime. We go to heaven or hell or wherever. But if we think backward, the soul also extends before this lifetime. And in the multiple past lifetime, who knows how many lifetimes, the total causality. Okay, there's a concept of there is a concept called total causal outcome. Total causality, basically. Okay. So what we experience today in terms of our physical health condition, in terms of our family relationship, in terms of our financial, is the total sum of all the cause and effect that have been with us since the beginning of time. The total causal outcome. And if our total causal outcome is good fortune, that good fortune come about as a result of all the good deeds that we have performed in the past or past lifetime included. If we experiencing a lot of negativity in life today, bad health, bad relationship, poor finance, then we can say that that is our total causal outcome. Okay, everything that has gone into all the cause that have gone into bringing about this outcome in life today, all of that extends back beyond this lifetime. Total causal outcome or total causality. Hindu call it karma, but here we're going to use the common English language. It is causality, just causality. Today, Christianity doesn't believe in reincarnation, but during the time of Jesus, even the Jews, okay, Jesus was a Jew. He was an Israelite. and they had an understanding of good fortune and bad fortune. People who are born with illnesses is associated with sin. When sick people come to Jesus and he heals them, he didn't say you are healed. He said your sin is forgiven. He said your sin is forgiven. And people didn't understand that. He said, who are you to have the right to forgive? Only God could forgive sins. But he said, your sin is forgiven. It is a statement on causality, that they have committed negativity in the past. And so now they are reaping the total causal outcome of negativity in terms of bad health. During the Jesus time, there are two Jewish factions. One is the Sadducees, and then one is the Pharisees. The Pharisees believe that there is a soul that extends beyond single lifetime. The other faction believe that that's it. This life is all we have. So even during Jesus' time, during the Judaism, which is a religion where Christianity came from, there is a root of understanding of causality that extend beyond this lifetime. Okay, that's the only way we have to explain why somebody are born to bad fortune and other people are born to good fortune. If we have a better definition or better explanation, yeah, let me know. That's all we have for now. So we're gonna go with that until we have a better explanation. Okay, so this is the discussion on a religion and spirituality. I'm tying in Eastern and Western religion. I'm tying in Zen Buddhism, Hinduism, and Christianity and Judaism. There is a common language there, and that language is the language of cause and effect, extending beyond a single lifetime. So three spiritual energy. One spiritual energy, as I mentioned before, is associated with good deed, benevolent deed. It deposits a positive seed inside our positive spiritual account. When we as an individual, as a human being, resonate with positivity, we attract positivity. Even things like winning the lottery. We don't do anything, but using this system of reference, it is said that in the past lifetime, we may have helped other people go positive in their finance. And so this lifetime, we get lucky. We enjoy the good fortune of finance. We win the lottery. If we walking down the street and we get hit by a car, that can be said that that is a total causal outcome as a result of some bad deed that we did in the past. If not in this lifetime, then maybe we have hit other people with cars in the past. Believe it or not, that you don't have to believe it. Okay, but see if that makes any sense. Okay, the Zen Buddhists say don't believe anything. Don't believe anything anybody say. Just contemplate it and see if it is true. Know it. Once you know it and understand it, then you don't really have to believe it. Just as knowing that we have this true nature, we are already always hearing, we are already always seeing. You don't have to believe it. Just kind of feel it. See if you can discover it and sense it for yourself. Discover that truth for yourself. And it turns out that for those who have already experienced or discovered that truth, it is related to the third energy. It is related to a energy called, trying to find a good word for it. Okay, merit. Just for now, we're just going to call it merit. It is a spiritual merit. Relating to wisdom. Whereas positive spiritual energy, we have negative spiritual energy relating to ethic. Okay, there's the ethic part. This part is these two is related to ethic. The fruit of good and evil that we ate in the Garden of Eden. This one is related to the true self, related to the perception. If we're talking about human nature, it's related to the perception part. In order for us to perceive our true nature, in order for us to perceive our true nature, our true self, to actually perceive the true hearing and true seeing, the already always hearing, the already always seeing, to perceive that with clarity, okay, in order for us to experience that or perceive it with clarity, we need to have deposit some seed into our wisdom merit account. The only way to do that is to help other people experience or perceive it as well. Cause other people to experience clarity in their perception relating to knowledge and wisdom. With knowledge and wisdom, especially level 3 now, wisdom, we'll talk about that later. Level 3 wisdom, a person can experience that state of emptiness of being more readily. For those of us who still cannot experience it, that's okay. We not have accumulated enough energy in our wisdom merit account. If and when we do, then we will more readily experience that true emptiness. All of this stuff that we're doing here, that's just the mind stuff. We're just using our mind to get close to it, to kind of simulate it. Okay, at least we turn down the volume if our mind is too busy. If our mind is thinking too much, if we're feeling too much, especially when undesirable circumstances happen to us. When people insult us or do anything that undesirable, we can initiate our magnanimity. We can react with positivity. But it takes a wisdom merit, a high energy frequency for us to experience that true emptiness. And the only way to experience that true emptiness or true peace is if we have accumulated enough wisdom merit into our wisdom merit account. And the only way to do that is to help other people experience clarity. Okay, we cause other people to go deluded, okay? We cause other people to not be clear, then we're going to lose our merit with the merit energy. The two positive and negative energy, we can refer that as blessings. The wisdom energy, we can refer to that as blessings. Okay, this part I'm still struggling and trying to explain it in English. But
Frank, I have a question, please.
yes.
So, let's say I have a person who does not believe in past life stuff, past life experience and all the karma. Ask me questions. I don't believe in any of those. It's hard for me to believe.
Yeah.
So how would I help them to understand there are these
Yeah.
cause and effect?
Right. So first, we initiate the true hearing and true seeing ourselves.
Yes.
Immediately when somebody says something that we're not sure how to explain, or if it's different from our own opinion, initiate that emptiness. Don't allow the emotion and the mind to jump in too quickly. Don't be too quick to answer. Don't be too attached to trying to change them just yet. Okay, give it a moment. Oh,
Yes.
that's what he said. I just know that he said that, and I also know that I'm hearing it. To allow that space of emptiness, then the next thing that's going to come out is going to be a little bit more clear, with more clarity, instead of delusional, right? So when we experience something that's difficult like that, okay, so number one, we detach ourselves from the need to answer. That's number one. Yeah, don't be so quick to answer. Okay, we detach ourselves, give ourselves a moment of clarity. Then if and when the answer comes, it'll tend to be in the line of what we want. But if we let our emotion and our judgment jump in too quickly, oh, this person doesn't believe it, then already we close off the door. We close the door.
Yes.
Okay. So that's number one. Get empty first. Next step, we use this circle of knowledge. How can we help another person if we don't know what they want or what they know? If we are so interested in giving other people our knowledge, and we're so interested in speaking from our own knowledge, and they will not understand. So we have to use the circle of knowledge. That is a principle. So okay, let's ask them. So okay, so you don't believe in karma, you don't believe in reincarnation, but you notice that some people are born with good fortune, and other people are born with bad fortune. And they say, oh yeah, I noticed that some people are born with good fortune and some people are born with fortune. Then you have already established a common ground that we both realize, we both have the common knowledge that people are born with good fortune and bad fortune.
Right.
And then we say, okay, have you wondered why some people are born with good fortune and other people are born with bad fortune? Some of them, if the religious, like a Christian person, may say, you know what? I don't know. God, I give it up to God. God decide if somebody is born with good fortune or somebody is born with bad fortune. In the Bible, there's a story of Lot. Lot is a man who experienced all kinds of negativity. Is it Lot? I think Lot. Job, the book of Job, J-O-B, the book of Job. Okay, Job is a man who experienced diseases. He loses his family. He loses his material wealth. And he keeps on losing it. And never once does he wonder why God is doing it. And he just believes. He just offers it up to God. God is still good. So the Christian Bible does not give an explanation on why somebody is born with good and bad fortune. And then we ask, okay, would you be interested in knowing? Would you be curious in understanding why somebody are born with good fortune or bad fortune? It might be helpful to explain it to a person who is born to a lot of bad fortune. Because if they don't understand it, they might blame God, blame the world, blame their parents. It's my parents' fault that I have this disease, this congenital disease, this heart condition, this high cholesterol, high diabetes, thanks to my DNA, thanks to my parents. So if we can get them to agree that, okay, people are born to good or bad fortune differently, and if we can agree that, we would like to be curious to find out, and here is some information that may expand your understanding a little bit about human nature, then there is a possibility that there's a possibility that we may have done something bad in the past to earn it. Because then you ask, okay, Do you know the quote in the Bible that says that we reap what we sow? Do you believe that at the end of Judgment Day, every hair on our head will be counted? That's a quote from the Bible, right? Does God miss anything? No, God doesn't miss anything. And God, has operate this world, govern this world through universal principles and natural laws. And if we recognize universal principles and natural law and we align ourselves with that, we are essentially obeying God. And then you expand it and expand it. Okay. So you take your time and go slow. Don't be too rushed into changing another person. Just get into another person's knowledge. As you understand them, your own knowledge expand. You speak on the same level. It's just step by step. You notice it, I take it step by step by step. It's not this whole module. You can't jump in and just say it. It take a long time.
You basically hear the message, analyze and distinguish.
There you go. Yeah, you have that. Use that. And for some people, they may begin with, oh, I don't believe in it. But that's just the human nature covering up the true nature. They may actually be next to the exit of the tunnel already. And all they need is just 1 or 2 line statement from you, and it will open their consciousness immediately. They will actually recognize the truth even faster than we do.
Don't jump to your emotion right away, otherwise you're judging or whatever.
Yeah. It doesn't matter how long a person has lived in the darkness. The moment you light a single candle, the darkness will go away. It doesn't take 1,000 years to enlighten a person. Okay. It depends on how far along they are in terms of their wisdom merit. Okay. Yeah, good question. Thank you for that.
Thank you very much. That's
so
awesome.
In terms of this discussion, I'm still trying to find a good word for it. Okay. The công đức, which is for now, I'm going to call it wisdom merit. I think wisdom merit. Okay. So there are 2 things. So there is the wisdom merit. Okay. Merit is that stuff which we earn. We earn our wisdom. We don't just have it. We earn it. We have it, but we also earn it by helping other people elevate their wisdom. Our ability to understand the true self, the human construct, has to do with how much we have in our account, a wisdom merit account. A person who is rich in wisdom is going to be more readily understand the discussion on wisdom, the discussion on the true self. Okay. And then the other stuff, there is the spiritual merit. Shall we call it spiritual merit? One is the wisdom merit. Let's call the other one spiritual merit, because I'm still trying to find a good language for it. There's a wisdom merit and there's a spiritual merit. Yeah, I think let's use that. Spiritual merit. Okay. So spiritual merit, it has positive and negative, right? Positive has to do with the good deeds. Negative has to do with the evil deeds. But let's just focus on the positivity. With the spiritual merit, we earn it when we cause other people to be positive, make them happy. But we also burn it very easily. Right? You see how quickly you can make another person happy. You can also make them very angry very easily as well. A single word, a celebrity can make a lot of people happy. An actor, right? A sports athlete, make people very happy. And thereby they attract a lot of fortune. They get rich very quickly. But a single wrong thing to say in the media and the news will cause a scandal, and they would lose all the fortune in an instant. Spiritual merit is like a mountain of cash. Mountain of cash. Quick to accumulate, easy to burn. Okay, quick to accumulate, easy to burn. Quick to accumulate, easy to burn. Mountain of cash. Okay. Wisdom merit is like a mountain of gold. Slow to accumulate. Easy to what's that word? To be covered up in dirt. To get dirty for now. Okay. Okay. I'll find a good word for that. Okay, to get dirty. You have to polish it all the time. Okay. Easy to tarnish. Is that a good word? Tarnish. Wisdom merit. The only way to earn wisdom merit is by raising other people's wisdom. Expand the awareness and perception. That's what we're trying to do. Okay, the only way that we know how, according to this philosophy, is to elevate their wisdom, expand their awareness and perception. Spiritual merit, very quick to accumulate. Easy to accumulate, easy to burn as well. How do you accumulate spiritual merit? Oops. Hang on. My phone is ringing. Be right back. Good morning. That was the alarm, 8 o'clock alarm to wake my son up for Aikido. We usually go do Aikido. Okay. Spiritual merit. Okay, spiritual merit is a mountain of cash, quick to accumulate, easy to burn. But let's go to the quick to accumulate part. How do we accumulate this spiritual merit? Because the spiritual merit will deposit positivity into our spiritual account. And by the law of causality, when we have positive seed, we will bear positive fruit in the form of desirable life circumstances. Okay. So if we're going to improve our fortune in life, okay, what are some simple ways to do it? So let me tell you a story. There is a poor farmer, right? No fortune, poor farmer. Been working very, very hard all his life. Does his life seem to be getting any better? Okay, a lot of effort. Okay, a lot of paddling. Life hasn't gotten better. But finally, one day, poor farmer goes to a Zen master, and he asks the master, Master, how can I improve my life? I've been working hard all my life, and I haven't gotten any better. And the master said, very simple, give away your fortune. Give away your fortune. Same thing in the Bible. Okay. So the master said to them, give away your fortune. And the poor farmer said, how can I give away my fortune? I don't have anything. I've worked all my life just to accumulate and I have nothing. How can I give? If giving away my fortune is going to make my life better and I have nothing to give, then I'm stuck, right? And so the Zen master said, well, you're mistaken. You actually have a vast fortune that you don't even know about. Your fortune is called the 7 great gifts. You have 7 great gifts that you can give to other people. Number 1, give of your face. Or you can say the gift of your appearance. Okay, we'll expand that. It is a gift of your appearance. Appearance. ENCE. In simplest term, it's your smile. How many times can you give another person your smile? If you give another person your smile, you make them feel better. You cause them to go positive in the human nature, and thereby you deposit a positive seed into your positive fortune account. How many times can you give people your smile? As many times as you want. The more people you give your smile to, the more fortune you're going to accumulate. Right? And you expand it beyond smile to your appearance, the way you present yourself. Okay? You can, when you walk into a work environment or you walk into a Zoom, and the way you present yourself is a gift of your face, the gift of your appearance, beside from smiling, the way we dress, the way we present ourselves, so that other people can look at it because they have a need for appearance. Human nature. We all have desire and imagination about appearance. And the moment we walk in, they are going to judge us. The mind is going to judge us. The emotion is going to feel something about our appearance. And if the way we present ourselves, our appearance, cause them to go positive, they feel good. Ooh, you look good today. Then when they feel good, it will, by the law of causality, it'll spread out and it'll come back and deposit a positive seed into our good fortune account. The second gift you have to give to people, give of your eyes. Okay? Or your gaze. Remember, we had an interaction yesterday about in the circle of knowledge. If we want to know another person, if we want to know what they know, we have to ask with humility and the true authentic desire to know them. And once they tell us about what they know, we have to listen. And we listen not only with our ear, but with our eyes. We look at them for their response, the emotional response, but we also look at them as a whole person, the totality of who they could be. The gift of your gaze, the gift of your eyes is the gift of seeing not just who they are now, but seeing their potentiality. Gift of seeing a person's transformation. Potentiality or transformation. How many times can you look at another person and see them for who they truly are, their potentiality? A little boy comes home. A little boy is known for not paying attention in class, failing in class, and one day his teacher sends a letter home to his parent. And his mother reads the letter. She folds up the letter and she tells the boy, starting tomorrow, you're not going to school anymore. I'm going to find special teachers for you. And the boy said, how come? Why can't I go to school? Why do I need special teachers? The mother said, well, your teachers told me through a letter that you're too smart for the class. The school does not have enough, they're not qualified to teach you, that you're too smart. So I need to find you better and smarter teachers to teach you. And so the mother takes the boy and engage him in different kind of education that will maximize his potentiality. Eventually, the boy grows up to become one of the most successful scientists in the world. Not the first person who invented the light bulb, but the first person who was able to stabilize the incandescent light bulb. His name was Thomas Edison. And later on, when his mother passed away, Thomas Edison went through his mother's possession and discovered the old letter that his teacher has taught to the mother. In that letter, the teacher has written, your son is too stupid. He cannot pay attention in class. He is incapable of learning. And therefore, he needs special education. See, at that moment, if his mother had seen Thomas Edison as a boy who's too stupid and incapable of learning, she would have treated him differently. But instead, she sees him as a person of greatness. She sees him as being too smart for the school system to teach. And so she engaged him in special education that maximizes his potentiality. And as a result of his mother's gaze, the gift of her eyes, he later developed, his potential and become one of the great scientists contributing value to our world today. The gift of your eyes, the gift of your gaze, the gift of seeing a person's potentiality, see their transformation. The gift of your eyes. And how many times can you do that to a person and to how many people? Unlimited. Look at everybody with the potential for greatness. Number 3, the gift of your speech. Okay, which is kind words. Right, human being, by nature, we are the image of God, which has the will to hear, the will to see, the will to speak. In the beginning, there was the will of God, and God said, let there be light. And there was light. From a spiritual perspective, it is the light of our true being, our true nature. From a scientific, physical perspective, it is the Big Bang that gave rise to the universe today. So when we speak, we are creating reality. When we speak to another person with kind words, we are creating reality for that person. We can say speech that will cause them to go negative, or say who speak things that cause them to be satisfied with their, their basic needs, elevate their clarity, their wisdom and perception, help them be more trusting, believing, more faithful, speak words that are benevolent. We can give other people the gift of our speech. Words of acknowledgement and appreciation, words of honoring gratitude, words of magnanimity when somebody does something wrong, words of peace, the gift of our speech. And how much of that we have? Oh, so many. How many people can we speak to? So many. The more people we speak to, the more kind word that we give to, okay? The more we are going to accumulate positive credit into our positive fortune account. Gift of speech. Number 4, gift of heart. Okay, heart of gratitude. It is an emotional thing. Okay, emotional thing. We have emotion. Instead of allowing our 84,000 bubbles of illusion to control us, why not take control of just one emotion? Make it simple. Just feel gratitude. Honor everyone and everything. Recognize the usefulness of things and the importance of people. And be grateful. When we sit down to eat, right? It is tradition in a Christian tradition to thank God. But if all you thank God and you don't see that God has created animals, the plant, and the people who created the food, and you haven't really, expressed gratitude. But when we sit down to eat, know that, if I eat rice, then somebody had to cook the rice. My wife or my mom, or somebody had to cook the rice. Be grateful for my mom or my wife. Somebody have to sell the rice. Be grateful for the supermarket, the whole chain of distribution, the clerk who sell the market and attended the money at the cash register. Be grateful for the people, the farmers who planted the rice, who processed and harvested the rice. Be grateful for the sunlight that came down, the water, the wind, the soil. Be grateful for the earth. If we eat chicken, be grateful that an animal had to have died so that we can eat the chicken. I have that new awareness recently. Every time I eat chicken, I just think about, gee, an animal have died. That animal had given me the gift of its life so that I could live. So what would your life be like if we give other people the gift of gratitude? At this moment in time, you had better things to do, but you're spending your time with me. Your lifetime is limited. Let's say 87, 80, 100 years old is the lifetime, and your time is ticking away. Your life is ticking away, spending with me. Literally, I am taking away your life, and you're giving me your life, and I'm grateful for that. And I honor your participation, the gift of your heart. How many times can you do that to another person? As many times as you want. As many times as you can afford. And we can afford an infinite amount of time to be grateful to an infinite numbers of things and people. Okay, bring tears to my eyes when I think about gratitude. And if we get other people to feel, our own gratitude, they feel good, they feel appreciated, then we deposit a positive seed into our good fortune account. We're going to attract, by law of causality, good fortune into our life. Positive circumstances. Number 5, give of space or spirit. Okay, I'm just going to say the space. I'm going to use the word spirit. Okay, the Vietnamese word is the giver of the room, the space in the room. But what that means is the spirit of magnanimity. Magnanimity. A space or a spirit so big, then you can tolerate people and be generous with them, irregardless of what they do. That is good or bad, right or wrong. We can hold them in our presence, in our spirit. We can be generous with them, generous with their fault. The gift of spirit. Okay. The gift of our spirit is hard to do if we're too attached to our appearance, identity, our resources, our consumption, or our rest. When we're too attached to those things, then when people do something that threaten our need for resources, need for appearance, and need for identity or consumption and rest, when people threaten those, then we tend to go negative. We tend to go anger. We tend to go anger. Okay. We tend to respond cruelly. But if we can give people the gift of our spirit of magnanimity, you can start by letting go. Detach. Go back to your true self. Just know that I'm hearing, know that I'm seeing what other people done for me, to me. If it's negative, take a moment and go back. Don't let the mind judge it as negative or positive. It's just something that people do. It's just a message. And we detach from it, then it becomes simpler to be magnanimous to people. Okay. Number 6. Give our body. Okay. Body, we have arms and legs. This is kind action. From a Christian perspective, Jesus Christ gives his body literally, his whole body. But as human being, we have arms and legs. That's part of our body. Kind actions. We help other people. How often can you help other people? There are people in need all the time. Even if people, we'll talk about, kind action later. But even now, there are always people in need of action, of help, kind action. Give of our body. And when it comes to the give of our body or give of kind action, we have to be a little wise with it. We have to make sure that they want it. Because the point is to help people so that they can go positive. Right? So that we help people satisfy their need for resources, appearance, and identity and stuff like that. But we have to be a little wise because we are living in a web of many people. If we help one group of people, and our action cause pain for another group of people, then that cancels out. Okay, so when it comes to actually, action has a lot of effect, right? Action is the cause, and it has a lot of physical effect in the world around us. We can help another person, but we have to make sure that our kind action to that person doesn't hurt somebody else. A lot of people like to perform kind action in the form of charity giving. Charity. Okay, charity. They do charity. They help people. If we help a lot of time, for example, should I say that or should I? No, I'll just share it a little bit. Like people like to give food, for example, feed the homeless, which is fine. But in Vietnam, there is a a tradition of feeding the patient. Once in a while, because there are a lot of poor people in in the hospital as well. Once in a while, there'll be a benefactor, somebody who has a lot of money, and they want to perform some charitable act. They want to buy food and feed the patient in the hospital. So they'll come with a bunch of food and they'll feed the patient, and the patient in the hospital is very happy. They accumulate positivity. However, at that same time, while the patient is eating the food that is given by the charitable person, they're not buying the food from the hospital kitchen. They're not buying the food from the local vendors. So by helping the patient, you're hurting the vendors. So with kind action, we have to be a little wise about who we help, how we help. The wiser course of action would be to buy the food from the local vendor or from the hospital kitchen and then give that to the patient. Then you help the patient, you help the vendor, you help the hospital. But if we are unwise in our kind action, then our kind action can turn into cruel action. And then we will deposit negativity in our fortune account along with the positivity. So it cancels out. Kind action. If we help one country in a war, we may inadvertently hurt another country. So we have to be a little clever when it comes to kind action. Okay, give up our body. Last one. Give us our seat. Okay, give up our seat. What that means is our position or status in life. If we have the position of good health, give other people the position of good health. If we have the status of happy relationship, give people the same status of happy relationship. Teach them how to be happy in relationship. If we have the seat of financial abundance, or some, teach other people to become financially abundant. Give up a seat. On a literal sense, you can literally give other people your position or your seat at a workplace. Don't be attached to your title or your position at work. Because if you're the kind of person who can train other people and help them be ready to take over your seat at work, your position at work, guess what? The bigger boss is going to see that you are a person of greater value, then you will be more likely promoted to higher position. Your fortune will improve when you are willing to give up your seat. The opposite is you cling on to your job title, you cling on to your seat, and you step on other people and prevent them from going up. What that's going to do is they'll guarantee you that seat, but you will never get better. Opportunities will not open to you unless you are willing to give up your seat. And then opportunity, life, in terms of good fortune, will come and you will get better seat. 7 great gifts of life. Okay. In the Vietnamese teaching, there's a phrase that you can say, nhan nhãn ngôn tâm phòng thân tỏa. It's easier to remember. In English, if it's difficult, then you can draw out a picture. Okay, draw out a picture of a person sitting. Just identify the face, the eyes, the mouth, which is speech, the heart, the spirit, the body, hands and legs, and then draw a chair representing the seat. Hello, Michelle. Thank you for joining us. Okay. And that is how the poor farmer can improve his fortune in life. An unlimited amount of gift that we can give to other people, and thereby collecting unlimited amount of good, positive fortune, attracting good fortune into our life. From a Christian perspective, a rich man comes to Jesus and asks, how do I get to heaven? How do I get here? Heaven is essentially a state of completeness, eternal peace. And Jesus said, give away all your fortune. If you want to go to heaven, give away all your fortune. Unfortunately, he did not understand it. He did not have the wisdom merit to understand this. And so he was sad. He went away because he had too much money and he was attached to his material money. He did not realize that by giving away your fortune, you don't need to give away your physical money fortune. You give your unlimited non-material fortune. This is how rich people can still get richer, create a lot of value, and still experience happiness. If you're rich and you want to get richer and you want to get peace as well, give away this gift, the non-material gift. Doesn't have to be giving away your physical material fortune. But for those people who have already attained enough merit wisdom, they have obtained enough spiritual energy, then they realize that the spiritual energy is of high energy, and the physical material stuff is actually low energy, and being attached to stuff like money will actually drag them down. And so they will actually let go of the physical material fortune. They focus on the spirituality. But for those of us who are still struggling in this human nature part, and we're still making our life a little better, it's okay as long as we wisely accumulate positive deed, positive fortune by helping other people go positive. So we work on both the ethical spirit as well as on the we work on both the how do you say the wisdom merit as well as spiritual merit. Okay, there's a wisdom merit and a spiritual merit. Spiritual merit has to do with good deed, bad deed. Okay. Okay, good deed, bad deed. Wisdom merit has to do with clarity, perception. Clarity of perception. And so, because the spiritual merit operates within the human nature, okay, it has positive and negative. We help people feel good, but they can also quickly feel bad, especially with the kind action. Right? We help one group of people feel good, but we inadvertently make another group of people feel bad. Every time we make some people feel bad, we deposit a negative seed in the bad fortune account. They are separate accounts. There's a good fortune account, there's a bad fortune account. They don't necessarily cancel out, they don't necessarily erase. If you do a lot of good deed, it doesn't necessarily erase the bad deed. Just like the hair in your head, they don't erase each other. There's some black hair and then some white hair. At the end, we're going to count all the black hair and all the white hair. Right? They don't erase each other. However, if we have a lot of good deed in our good fortune account, then there will be higher chance of good fortune being attracted, and we encounter more positivity. We may have good fortune and experience bad fortune at the same time, right? You notice that, right? Good fortune and bad fortune, they kind of independent almost. A person can have a lot of good fortune in money, for instance, right? But they have bad fortune in health. It is not, and it related to, even they have to have a lot of good fortune in money. Let's say they are able to accumulate a lot of financial resources, but it doesn't stop a bad fortune in that same area of life. They may get, let's say, they may get sued for the money or something like that. So the totality of all the causes has come in the form of the outcome that we experience today, both good and bad. It's always it's a constant mix of all that stuff. However, to simplify it, if you minimize the bad, then we get to enjoy the good more frequently. Okay? Doing more good doesn't necessarily erase the bad. It just gives us more opportunity to enjoy the good. The bad may still come. So how do you burn this fortune? Okay, so there are some, because we said that the spiritual merit is like this mountain of cash, quick to accumulate, easy to burn. Okay, so let's write down spiritual merit. Okay. Mountain of cash, easy to burn. What are some of the matches that burns this mountain of cash called spiritual merit? It is resentment and blame. Okay. Just look at society today. Okay. Celebrities, politicians, superstar athlete accumulate a lot of good fortune because they help other people feel good about what they do. Actors make a lot of movie. People love those movies. They're willing to give them money to watch those movies. They honor them, give them fame. They attract good fortune when they perform good deeds for other people. Superstar athlete wins a lot of game. Other people feel very good about it. They give them money and fame for winning a lot of games. A lot of good fortune. But something happened, and then those celebrities get on the internet and they would start to blame somebody. They would resent, and they lose a game and they will resent something, or a fan would say something and they would blame them and resent them in public. And in an instant, it caused a scandal. They lose the sponsor, they lose the fan base, they lose the contract, they burn their fortune. Resentment and blame is a match that will quickly burn the mountain of cash of spiritual fortune. Resentment and blame is usually related to anger and delusion, a lack of clarity. Right? Somebody may make a comment and they get angry. Well, they get angry because they're deluded about the true nature of themselves. And then they would blame and resent other people. So anger, delusion, those are matches that will burn your mountain of fortune. Let's write this in another piece of paper. I'm going to make it bigger. So this is spiritual merit. Okay. So what burns spiritual merit is resentment, blame. Okay, another one is anger, which is always associated with some delusion. Okay. A third match that will burn our fortune is hang on, let me see. Yeah, okay. Another one that burn our fortune is arrogance. A person rise to fame and fortune, and then they allow their pride to take over, and they would say things and do things that would offend other people, and then they would lose their fortune. Okay. Society has a way of burning people who are very conceited and arrogant. Another match that will burn your spiritual merit is adultery. Okay, adultery. Adultery is something that is culturally specific. Okay, culturally specific. Some culture, like in the United States and in Vietnam, it is only legally allowed for one person to be in a marital relationship with one other person. It is a monogamous relationship. But for some culture, a man can have multiple wives. A wife can have multiple men. That is cultural specific, and you have to be cognizant of that cultural specificity. Right, it is adultery that people will use to burn the fortune of politician more than celebrity. Right? A politician may rise to power, and then somebody would take a picture or snap a video of them performing some kind of adultery with a wrong person, and then that will burn their fortune and their fame. Okay, how do you prevent these matches from burning up your fortune? Very simple. We already give you the formula for it. In order, using the principle of light. If resentment and blame is the darkness, how do you drive away the darkness of resentment and blame? We drive away resentment and blame with the light of honoring gratitude. Okay? We're always honoring people. We are always grateful for them. And therefore, we will never have the need to ever blame anybody. Everybody is a contributor to our life. Another way for the anger and delusion, if anger and delusion is the darkness that is burning our fortune, then we can protect ourselves from anger and delusion by initiating the energy of serenity. This is how we protect ourselves and other people around us. It is through serenity that we can protect ourselves from anger and delusion. Serenity has the benefit of giving us clarity, thereby dispelling delusion. We can protect ourselves from arrogance by cultivating the character of humility. Okay. With anger, magnanimity will be helpful. With delusion and serenity. With arrogance, you want to replace it with humility. With adultery, just morality. Understand the moral code of your society. That's how we protect our spiritual merit. That is how we maintain the positivity within our spiritual account. That is how we can guarantee that the outcome in life is positive. We're going to attract positivity. With the wisdom merit, it's hang on. It's this one. Okay. The arrogance is the wisdom merit. No, that's fine. Arrogance is with the wisdom merit, the match that burn our fortune is abstinence. I remember now. Okay. Abstinence. Okay, it doesn't burn our fortune, it just kind of cover it up. Like a mountain of gold that gets quickly and easily covered up by abstinence, closed-mindedness. And to save ourselves from obstinate or closed-mindedness, we just maintain open-mindedness, okay? We use the principle of the circle of knowledge when we talk to people. You see, everything works when you obey God's law and align ourselves with universal principles and natural law. There is a principle operating when we are speaking to other people. If we align ourselves with the principle of the circle of knowledge, then we maintain openness. We maintain humility and openness, open-mindedness. When we talk to other people, we get to understand them. And when we get to understand them, our own circle of knowledge now includes their circle of knowledge. And so we have more wisdom. And from then, we can elevate their wisdom. We can expand their perception and awareness, and thereby earning credit in our wisdom account, and thereby experience more clarity and more readily receive the truth within us, the emptiness of being, which give us peace and liberate us from suffering. When it comes to the spiritual merit, right? We protect ourselves using these energy, honoring gratitude, magnanimity, serenity, humility, morality. When it comes to helping people, it is one thing to help people and accumulate positivity. It's another thing to help people help other people. Oh, when you help other people, then we have just created an engine of value creation. There's a difference between a person who works for wage and a person who create a business and help other people work for wage. The person who owns a business create an engine of value creation, and it helps a lot of people. From the spiritual sense, same thing. We can help somebody directly, they feel good, and we accumulate a little bit of credit. Or we can empower a person to help other people. And thereby we also reap the passive income from a spiritual sense. See how the parallel between the physical worldly view and the spiritual worldly view? It's a person can perform one act of charitable deed with a kind action and help just one person. But if you create a plan, an organization, or an engine of value that cause other people to create value as well, in the Catholic tradition, when a person is very holy, they help a lot of people. They're very kind, very loving, and when they die, the Catholic Church and the people would canonize them as a saint. Okay, they become a saint. It is an honorary status of a very holy person, usually after they die, except for one person. Mother Teresa was considered a saint before she died. Mother Teresa is a woman who performed charitable deed not only with her own hand, but she empowers other people to create other charitable deeds and thereby spreading positivity throughout the world, spreading kindness and loving kindness. And so even before she died, people already consider her a living saint. Engine of value creation, when you can empower other people to create value for other people, thus expanding your awareness and perception about value creation, expanding your perception about money making. Okay. Let's take a little break. Okay. Any question, impression, realization before we take a break? What do you guys think so far? Any new material for you? Anything jump out? Let's do some mental activation. Morgan, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm listening.
What do you get?
No,
What's
no
new to
question.
you? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get a lot. I'm thinking. I'm
Still thinking? Okay.
processing. I'm
That's
processing.
fine.
No question.
Okay.
Maybe later, coming
Okay.
to me a lot of questions, but not now. I'm just analyzing what
Okay.
you're saying.
Okay.
The difference between the spiritual, merit, and wisdom, right?
Yeah, and that is it's a very uniquely Buddhist Zen. It's a very Zen thing. Okay, the spirit, the wisdom merit. Because if we allow, okay, for now, if we allow for the reincarnation in a multiple lifetime, then we will find that people who have performed a lot of spiritual merit, right, cause other people to go positive, good deeds, then they get to enjoy positivity. But here's the thing, it is like an account. When you use the money in your account, it will get depleted. So when a person enjoy any positivity in life, they will actually use up that account. If we use up the positivity into our life, we enjoy the good things that come to us and we don't replenish it, after a while, it will become depleted. And so we go through life, we replenish this account, we use it up, we replenish the account, we use it up from life to life, and that circle is kind of doesn't really change anything.
So Frank, would that slow to accumulate, easy to corrupt? Is that what that means by getting dirty?
Yeah, you can say corrupt or yeah, like gold, the idea of gold.
Mm-hmm.
It's slow to accumulate, but you can't burn gold with a match. The Vietnamese word is to get dirty. It get dusty and it loses its polish. So if you can find a good word for me, that'll be, I think the Vietnamese word is easy to get dirty, but we can find a good English word, easy to tarnish. Can we say tarnish?
Yeah.
Tarnish, yeah, good word, tarnish.
Yeah.
Easy to tarnish. Yeah. It is no longer polished, right? We need to polish it if we want it to look pretty. Okay, easy to tarnish. It
Is that
loses.
because it comes in slow, so people are anxious to get more? They want to gamble it or something like that? Is that what that means? Or
No, it means that it means that okay, it means that we become with wisdom, we get clarity when we have wisdom.
Mhm.
But if we How do we burn if we get obstinate, we get deluded.
Mhm.
Okay, obstinate give us delusion. Okay, obstinate will give us delusion. So we are no longer clear. Okay, but we just need to clean it up. We don't lose it, because once we have knowledge, it's there. It's like, when we have knowledge and wisdom, if we don't keep an open mind, we will forget. Right? We know, and we forget the truth, and so we
Mhm.
become more deluded. And the way to clean that up is just this open mind. Perform our mental activation daily, regularly. Okay, just constantly clean the goal, and it'll shine bright again. That's the idea.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
And you can, with wisdom, you can't really lose the wisdom as easy as we lose the cash. That's the idea, right? But we can get deluded. We forget to use our wisdom when we are close-minded. We are obstinate. We're so stuck to our own perspective on things. We don't use the principle of the circle of knowledge, and so we get deluded, and as a result, we make bad choices. Okay, and that will of course, our wisdom may also influence our spiritual merit. When we're deluded, we're quick to anger. We're gonna turn into the human nature as opposed to our true nature, right? Yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about that. How long do you guys want to break? Yes, Jihua, go ahead. Do you have a question? Or
Okay, while the others think, yes, while the others think about the break time, I just want to share. Thank you so much for the sharing today. What I really like is about giving your eyes, and one of the sevens giving is giving your eyes. You give an example of Thomas Edison. That is going to sink in. It's not going, it's already sink in my head. So every time if I see someone, I just hold them, give them my eyes, and with the full attention of the eyes, and hold them in my heart, that this person is not what, that they make a difference in the world.
Yeah, they are more than what they appear.
Yes, they're more than appear. So
yeah,
so it really sync with me. So that's what I would like to share. Thank you for giving a really good example that it really sink in.
Yeah, thank you so much for that.
Thank you. Yes.
Let's take a 20-minute. We'll come back at 9:15. Is that okay, guys? Okay.
Sound good to me. Thank you.
All right. See you in a bit. Did I? Oh no, the entire thing I did not. Did I? Okay, I did record. That's good. So now I'm gonna pause the recording. Okay. Good.